Have you ever felt like your job applications are just disappearing into some kind of black hole? You're definitely not alone. Today, we're going to dive into a modern playbook for job searching that can turn that frustration into actual real opportunities.
And just so you know, the strategies we're breaking down today come straight from the experts at SwissCareer.coach. They're designed to give you a clear, effective path forward in what we all know is a super competitive job market.
Okay, this quote right here, this is the core idea for everything we're about to cover. If you get this one thing, it could completely change how you look for a job. Seriously, it's not about working harder, it's about putting your energy where it's going to have the biggest impact.
So we've got a clear roadmap for you today. First up, we'll look at the two main ways to land a job. Then we'll talk about navigating that crowded world of online applications. After that, we'll get into the exciting part, how to take control with proactive methods. And finally, we'll cover the foundation for all of it, your online brand.
To kick things off, it's really important to get that job searching isn't just one thing. It's actually a mix of two totally different approaches. One is passive, where you kind of wait for things to come to you. And the other is active, where you go out and make them happen yourself.
Let's think of it like this. The reactive approach is kind of like fishing with a giant net. You just throw it out into this huge digital ocean of job boards and hope you catch something. Anything. But the proactive approach? That's more like spearfishing. It's targeted, it takes skill, but you have way more control over what you bring home.
All right, so let's start with that fishing with a net method, because let's be real, it's what most of us do first. This is the world of online job boards, where you click apply, upload your resume, and then you wait. And this is exactly why it so often feels like your CV just vanished into thin air.
You know all these names, right? These sites are a necessary evil. You can't really ignore them. But you have to remember, this is where the competition is absolutely ferocious. We're talking hundreds, sometimes even thousands, of people applying for the exact same job.
So why don't you hear back? Well, it's time to meet the gatekeeper. Before any human being ever lays eyes on your application, it is almost certainly being read, sorted, and filtered by a machine. An applicant tracking system, or ATS for short.
And just look at the scale of this. Nearly 99% of the biggest companies are using this software. This isn't some niche tool, it's the standard. So that means getting your resume ready for these systems isn't just a nice idea. It's absolutely essential if you want to survive in that digital ocean.
So this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? How do you make sure that resume you worked so hard on doesn't get kicked to the curb by an algorithm before it ever gets a chance to impress a real person?
Here are 4 really practical steps to do just that. First, keep your formatting simple. These robots get totally confused by fancy columns and graphics. Second, mirror the language. If the job ad asks for data analysis, you use the exact words, data analysis. Third, use standard job titles. Growth hacker might sound cool, but the ATS is looking for marketing specialist. And finally, always submit your resume in a compatible format like a Word doc or PDF. Okay. So we've learned how to be smarter with our net. Now it's time to pick up the spear. We're going to shift our focus to those proactive strategies that give you control and help you tap into all the jobs that are never even posted online, what we call the hidden job market.
And this brings us right back to that powerful idea from the beginning. This number, 80%, this is what that 80-20 flip looks like in the real world. The vast majority of your time and your energy should be spent here, building relationships and creating your own opportunities. This is how you really take command of your career.
So what does this actually look like? Well, you can start with people you already know. Then you can intentionally go out and build new connections. It also means showing up at professional events, talking directly with recruiters, and even reaching out to companies you admire, whether they have a job posting or not. This slide right here, this is your playbook. And notice the big shift. Instead of asking, "Hey, do you have a job for me?" you're asking for advice and information. You ask locals about the job search culture. You ask pros in your field for ideas on companies. These are easy, low-pressure questions that open doors and give you amazing insights. Reaching out to a total stranger can feel a little intimidating, but it doesn't have to be. Here's a super simple, respectful, and really effective template. You're complimenting them, you're being clear about your goal, and you're respecting their time by asking for just 15 minutes. An approach like this makes it so much more likely you'll get a yes. Okay, so whether you're fishing with that net or with a spear, all of your efforts really depend on one thing, a solid foundation. And in today's job search, that foundation is your online brand. It's what makes you look credible and makes all your strategies actually work. Think about it. A resume is a static document. It's a historical record of what you've done. A LinkedIn profile, on the other hand, is dynamic. It's alive. It shows your personality, your expertise, and most importantly, it shows your connections. It's a branding tool, not just a list of old jobs.
So how do you power up this brand? Well, start with a summary that's packed with the keywords recruiters are searching for. Make yourself more visible by sharing what you know. Write an article, speak at a workshop, build credibility by asking former colleagues for recommendations, and engage with what others are posting to show you're an active, knowledgeable person in your field.
So just take a second and ask yourself this. If a hiring manager were to Google your name right now, what would they find? What story does your online presence tell about you? Is it the story of a passionate, engaged professional that they absolutely need on their team?
Okay, let's bring it all together. The goal here isn't to pick one or the other. A winning strategy is a blend. It's smart, targeted online applications to get past the robots, combined with a powerful, proactive networking effort to find those hidden jobs, all supported by a professional online brand that makes you credible and easy to find.
And that brings us to the final, and honestly, the most important question. After all this, what is the one single, proactive step you are going to take this week? Are you going to reach out to a former colleague? Are you going to finally send that outreach message? What's it going to be? Moving from just learning this stuff to actually doing it is everything. If you're looking for more detailed resources, message templates, or even some personalized coaching to really put these strategies into action, be sure to visit swisscareer.coach. Thanks for tuning in.